perusers of poetry. My name's Filet Mignon, and this is Medium Rare Poetry. As promised, today's poem is one that I wrote for an open mic session for poetry readers that never got read. But the story of that is in the previous episode, so I'll put a link in the show notes below so that you can see what the story was with that. But today's poem is based on a Choko vine, and for those who don't know what a Choko vine might be, I've put some descriptions in the show notes as well, because there are some other Australian idioms that might be unfamiliar to some people around the world. Anyway, for now, I present to you Choked.
Choked by Filet Mignon. My wife went off to Hobart Town to visit with her mum, so I was left here all alone to be a household bum. I scanned the TV channels, but no footy could I find. I grabbed a book with some rare hope to edify my mind. I thumbed through Margaret Fulton, as a bloke will often do, in search of tasty morsels or on something I could chew. My eye was drawn quite quickly to a mix that sounded fun, a Choko tart enhanced by adding pints of Bundy rum. But where to find some Chokos? 'Twas the problem to be cracked. The farmer's market popped to mind. I bundled up my sack. Did no one sell me Chokos? Well, apparently they can't. Despairingly I turned to go, then thought, I'll buy a plant. The only bloke that sold them looked as though he'd smoked some ice. Not being that judgmental, I engaged him for advice. He said he had a hybrid that would guarantee a crop. I bought a little punnet, so I went to leave his shop. I noted that the label had the letters CIA. He said it was the Latin name, and that meant A-OK. I rushed right home excited, for I had to do this right. I roamed around the garden for a moist but well-drained site. I dug a little hole right where my septic system drains. My plant would not then have to wait on intermittent rains. I popped him in the ground, and then a lovely thing occurred. It wound a little tendril round my finger. How absurd! I got the call of nature, so I headed for the loo. A session with my crossword book would help me feel brand new. The clue for 21 across was call out at a rally. I had the house all to myself. On this one I could dally. Aha! I claimed unto myself. The answer would be heckle. And just right then a tendril rose and touched me on the freckle. Well, let me tell you here and now, I broke a long jump score, 13 metres down the hall before I hit the floor. Just like a Russian missile that was powered by a fart, a remarkable achievement from a flamin' sitting start. I looked back at the toilet and my blood turned icy cold. A Choko vine was climbing up and out the Dunny bowl. I made the back veranda and the horror hit me hard. My bloody little hybrid was consuming my backyard. My garden shed was ruined and the hills hoist was entangled. My car was overtaken and my motorbike was mangled. I knew I should have practiced an evacuation plan, for logic is diminished in a panic-minded man. I grabbed the wedding photos and my CDs of the goons. I stuffed a bag with undies and I shot out of the room. By now the vine was smashing every single pane of glass. I made the door and bolted like a madman across the grass. I stopped out on the roadway and looked back upon my home. It vanished like a ship engulfed in some green monstrous foam. I grabbed my phone and dialed that assuring 000. She went, what service would you like? Rampant weed control? I felt a little peeved to hear her hang up in my ear. They think that I'm a nutter. Oh, my mind was clad with fear. I tried the number once again, and this time calmed my voice. She said, "What service would you like?" "Police," became my choice. "Is anyone in danger?" this wicked woman asked. "My house is being ransacked and I need assistance fast." The line went strangely quiet. Yes, I thought she'd gone again. But then I heard the sirens coming, screaming down the lane. They weren't your normal coppers, as these unmarked vans arrived. Black-suited dudes with sunnies on pulled up upon my drive. "I'm Agent Franz," this bloke explained, and flashed a fancy crown. "You've leased a secret weapon and we have to shut it down." With that the calm was shattered by a helicopter's fan. It towed a huge tarpaulin and they dropped it on my land. A team of burly agents wearing snugly fitting shirts deployed themselves around the tarp and fixed it to the earth. And then the strangest thing of all, these astronauts appeared and entered through a secret slit with military gear. Inside the tent a battle raged. I heard the Choko scream, and sparks flew every which way as it vented off some steam. And soon it was all over, and the whole shebang was gone. My house, encased in dried-up vine, was smoking like a bomb, resembling Beijing's bird nest, and it even glowed at night. They used some radiation in the fearsome, frantic fight. Agent Frond advised for me to leave the place for years before it would be safe to bring myself to somewhere near. I wondered what the neighbours thought to have a Fukushima right here at 14 Lower Street, the home of George and Tina. What was this Choko vine that gave me violent diarrhea? They bred it up to drop the stuff on naughty North Korea. My wife came home and took one look and smacked me on the mouth. She got back in the taxi and retraced her journey south. I tried to claim insurance, but, of course, I was declined. They had a clause that outed them from toxic Choko vines. I'm staying with a mate now, and I help out on his farm. I tend the sheep and cattle, and my veggies are a charm. I had to sell a cow of his, but I swapped it for some beans. The fellow said the crop would be the largest one I've seen. I planted them at 3:30. By 5 they'd grown 3 feet. I reckon by tomorrow I'll be the envy of the street.
A tragic tale, I'm sure you will agree. But anyway, that's it for today. Please like and share and please subscribe. At last count, when this video was recorded, I have a huge subscription membership of 8. So with your help and a concerted effort, we could get to 10. Yes. Anyway, have a beautiful day and I will see you next time. Bye-bye for now.